Sure.
And then I don't have a problem. I'm comfortable with it. I explain, I sit down to them, and the school actually, gets me, for example, dildos, stuff like that, and I put it in front of them and I show them how to do it. So I think that the school per se is doing a very good job this year. Because what they're using students like myself to get the words out there, and then tell them that it's not an adult thing, it's an everyone thing.
Right.
And I think they're doing a pretty good job.
That's cool.
Yeah. Wow. So you're busy.
I am, and I like being busy.
Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, yes.
No more lights.
No, I guess that was it for the calls for a while. We normally, it depends. We don't get that many calls.
Maybe one call per show.
I think people do it just because everybody's so engrossed in watching us they can't call. Right?
Sure.
Something like that. It has nothing to do with us only having one viewer out there. Actually, that's not true. We have actually been recognized on the street, so I think we have one or two viewers.
One or two.
See, Stop and Shop, Walmart, and the restaurant.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, isn't it?
It's kind of odd, but
anyway, we go over to Mr. G's. Certainly, you guys are welcome to join us. We go over to Mr. G's after the show.
Sometimes we're on at Mr. G's.
Sometimes they watch us, yeah. But we always go over there. That's sort of our hangout, Mr. G's. So, anyway. Where were we? Yes, Kate and Sandy will be on in 2 weeks, and wonderful, wonderful organizations. So.
Update us on the Alliance for Living, what they're doing in their programs.
It's very cool. And a bunch of other stuff going on, which obviously we're going to talk about at some point, but mostly the main thing, which just got everybody upset. But anyway.
Main thing being the main thing.
The main thing, yeah.
M-A-I-N-E.
Yes, the state of Maine. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that briefly before we, because we'll run out of time probably before we get to talk about that.
We've got a whole panel of opinions here.
Yes, you can tell us what you think about this.
About?
Maine voters repeal law allowing gay marriage. In a stinging setback for the national gay rights movement, Maine voters narrowly decided to repeal the state's new law allowing same-sex marriage. 53% of voters approved the repeal, ending an expensive and emotional fight that was closely watched around the country. All the folks that were fighting for and against Prop 8 in California went to Maine. In Maine, they were able to get a referendum on the ballot after the Maine legislature passed a law saying that it's unconstitutional to prohibit same-sex marriage. Those against it were able to get an amendment on the ballot requesting the repeal of it. One of the interesting things I read from a blogger today about it was Maine is supposed to be a live and let live state. That's sort of their motto. 53% of the state wasn't able to let live today.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
It's about as far as I can go without getting really involved in it.
Yeah, certainly we're unhappy about that. We certainly want to see people that love each other be able to be married. And certainly we're happy that we have gay marriage here and same-sex marriage in Connecticut.
I don't think that's the end, though.
No,
I just think it's going to stir up a bunch of controversy and stuff like that. For example, personally, I don't care if a goat and a sheep wants to get married, let them get married. That's their division. And when I think I'm going to take it off my own business to say who can get married, that's just absolutely wrong. That's people's right. Let them do whatever they want to do, and if they already approved it, then they're going to that doesn't say much. That just says that are you undecided? And
well, the hay they're making out of it is that Maine, along with Massachusetts, Connecticut, Iowa, New Hampshire, and Vermont, has same-sex marriage either because not having it was ruled unconstitutional in a legal case, or because the legislature passed a law saying that it would happen. This was the first time that the citizens of the states themselves had a voice in saying whether or not they wanted it. And that's why this is going to be made such a big deal of, because this is supposedly the will of the people. the will of the people in an election where you're lucky if 40% of the people turn out to vote.
Yeah.
But
And drawing 40% turned out, obviously.
well, what they were estimating based on the turn-in is that about 25% of the population of Maine repealed the law. But as you were pointing out, they repealed a law as opposed to passing a constitutional amendment against it. Most of the other 31 states that have rejected same-sex marriage have passed laws prohibiting it. This just said, undo the law that you did. So there's potential there to go back, yes.
Interesting. Anyway, we have a call. Good evening, nlcTrans, you're on the air.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I have a comment on the main thing that was just voted on yesterday.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it should have been passed. I don't know what's going on. You know, there's like 5 states that legalize gay marriage, including Connecticut. And, you know, there are a lot of people that are single and they're out looking for people and they just, you know, they can't find people. It's kind of sad, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is sad.
I also have another, well, I have a question, actually.
Shoot.
The young lady that's in the back on the far right, is she single?
I'll leave that to her to answer.
If you'd like to, you don't have to answer that. We're not gonna turn into
Facebook is complicated.
Chuck Willery for those of you that know the reference.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, that's interesting. Thank you so much for calling.
Yep.
That would happen too.
Well, anyway.
If I lived in Maine, I would move.
Yeah.
Because they just lost a citizen, so.
Well, I certainly know several people whose relatives are from Maine, from Maine themselves, and unfortunately, you can't quite give up your heritage that way. But they were very upset today to be former maniacs.
Anyway, it was too bad, but this is a battle that we're going to win.
It's just
There's
time.
no doubt about it.
Eventually.
Yeah, it's just time. I mean, because places like Massachusetts and Connecticut, and the interesting thing here in Connecticut is Connecticut's state law said that 2 consenting adults could get married. And then someone said, well, what about 2 consenting adults of the same sex? No, just 2 consenting adults. Okay?
Yeah.
Not all states had constitutions written quite the same way, but ours was written for 2 consenting adults. And so they basically said, if we're going to interpret this, we can't disallow it.
Sure.
But,
Yeah. Anyway, another call. Good evening, nlcTrans, you're on the air.
Yes, hello.
hello.
I'm interested in how important it is to have the emotional stability in your partner. So when you go into a relationship, because relationships take up so much time, 4 years, 2 years, 5 years, and I always attracted a woman that was the broken bird, fix the wing situation. And then they would cheat on me, they were promiscuous before me. Could I have saved me a lot of time by doing like an evaluation of the person you want to date to see if they're emotionally stable enough to be in a successful relationship?
Wow.
And you kids in college, to get this government under control, you have to start working together throughout every college with your YouTube and your Facebooks and all of this. Let's take this country back and run it, okay? We're smarter than any politician. We're smarter than any president. We're smarter as the United States of America, as individuals, than Einstein himself was. So all we have to do is use it, kids, use it. Take this technology and ram it to them, because they've been ramming it to us for years. Have a great night. God bless you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Would you like to get a broccoli?
Well, that's
That was interesting.